It's been an amazing afternoon for AFC Telford United. They've come back from a 2-0 half-time deficit to beat Darlington 3-2 here at Blackwell Meadows. And I have manager Gavin Cowan with me. Gavin, hard to sum that game up. I think you said a few words at half-time and it got a reaction.
Yeah, I think it's full credit to the players for their resilience, and their performance second half was very much in the same ilk as last week. But you know, it's difficult to put your finger on. You know, the first half performance just wasn't anywhere near the standards that I expect. So yeah, we had slight words at half time, but you know, it's whatever those words were, it's credit to the players that they then went and put it into practice, because ultimately we can have all the preparation and do all of the right things in training, which I feel like we're in a really good place with that. But they come what may, they have to take the responsibility when they go over the white line, and they did that. Credit to them.
Sure. I mean, from the game against Spennymoor a couple of weeks ago, that was a 2-0 deficit again, and they turned that round and got a point from that. So I know you say, well, that the idea is not to go 2-0 behind in the first place, but it does show some character.
Yeah, it does show character, but you know, we've got to start going better if that's going to be the case. I mean, we did last week. You know, that's credit to the lads. But we've got to be better at that. You know, it's not just the defence. You know, I do hear nonsense of people picking out defenders. We defend as a team. Both of our goals come from our first line of defence, which is our strikers and our number 10. You know, and they didn't do the job, and we were punished for it. And yes, of course, they've got to go through another 2 lines of defence, but ultimately we defend as a team, and when someone goes off on their own agenda, it can punish the rest of us. And unfortunately, that was the case. We defend as a team, so the lads have got to take responsibility. Like I say, we do a lot of work on it. When we do it, it's very successful. But it's just concentration levels. You know, we don't like the word consistency in the camp. We want to be better for longer. Right now, at this moment, we talk about that, and that's what the players have got to do. You can't switch off for a second. So, but you know, trying to be positive. We have got certain standards that was spoken about at half time, but you know, the second half performance was really a credit to our football club and how we expect our players to go out and apply themselves.
All the talk's going to be about Marcus Tengo, obviously, coming on at half time and a second half hat-trick. Shades there possibly of him getting back to what fans have seen from him in the past? Yeah,
you hope so. You know, I thought, listen, Marcus has scored a hat-trick today, but let me just tell you, his performance today was excellent. You know, he was reliable in possession. He was full of hard work, chasing back full-backs, and he deserved his 3 goals, because that's what you get. You make your own luck, and you know, I've been very vocal about that. But yeah, Marcus is a great character. He's really, really funny. You know, the lads really love him. But he's quite complex when it comes to football. So there has to be an element of man management with him. But you know, if he can wake up and smell the coffee and realise the talent that he's got, hopefully he'll start to fulfil that. And I think he can do that. But he does. He's aware of it. He needs to fulfil his potential, and that's only going to come from him. But last week and today is a really good step forward, and you know, it's great for him, because last week he did okay. He got his goal, and obviously it was a good team performance. He would have been disappointed to miss out today, but he managed to ram that down my throat by getting 3 goals. But you know, very, very welcome 2 fingers stuck up to me.
A goal really early in that second half as well, which sort of like, I think I commented at half time and said if there was going to be a 3rd goal in the game, it was crucial that it fell to Telford, and it did.
It was probably the last thing I said to him at half time, to give him a bit of motivation that, you know, the next goal will change the game. And I felt as though if we could get 1 goal, and we managed to stay in it really through the performances of Ellis Deeney and Zach Lilly. You know, Zach Lilly was absolutely colossal today, as was Ellis. Both of them credit for 90 minutes, was the rest of the team 45 minutes. I thought they were brilliant, but that was the last thing that we said. So yeah, really happy.
Sure. So on to who are we next week? Farsley Celtic.
Yes.
So another tough game coming up against the team. Wolves in the table, but
we say it every week, Rich, don't we? You know, we're not going to get an easy game, and that's the joy of this league. You know, it's a tough game every single week, and it's going to be the team that you know, work harder and are better for longer, i.e. consistent. You know, and that's they'll be the teams that are successful in this league, and that's what we've got to get an element. That's what we're missing at the moment. We've got the right group, we've got the right staff, we've got the right, everything behind the scenes is starting to tick along nicely. You know, we're in a really good position as a club, and we're primed to, you know, start making strides forward. But the players have got to start becoming more consistent. You know, because as we saw second half today, when they're on it and they're brave and they're committed and they're reliable and efficient, then listen, we get a group of players that are excellent. And you know, there's no excuses today. The preparation was outstanding. You know, real credit to the board. I want to go on record as saying, you know, their support for me again has just been ideal. You know, I think we do work on limited resources. We are that. I know we've got a big ground and a good history, but in terms of resources, we are way behind others. But we're in a great position to now start to build that. But you know, they've gone above and beyond at my request. Not quite begging, but at my request, you know, they managed to get us into a hotel the night before, and the players are treated, you know, in an impeccable manner, and that's credit to the football club. So that the 3 points goes to the board and their support for not just me, obviously, but the staff and all of the players. Because as I said to them after, there's a lot goes on behind the scenes that why I do drive the standards, and a lot of people, you know, work really hard. So you know, credit to the board and everyone at the club for how we prepared for this game, and I'm really glad we got the 3 points because of it.
It'll be a much more enjoyable coach journey home than it was looking at 3:45 this afternoon.
Slightly, yeah. Slightly.
Cheers, Gavin. Thanks for your time as ever.
Thanks,
Thank you.